don't even know where to start because World Superbike was huge down to the last race. Some controversy in there, a little bit of Rossi-esque Mark Marquez in the Super Bowl race in World Superbike. So I don't even know where to begin, but I guess let's begin there because Top Rock is going to be coming over to MotoGP. What a way to go out. I think Bulega should automatically go to MotoGP with him because next year I think he might fall asleep in first place. So what are your thoughts, TJ, on World Superbike? What Top Rock has done, got a three-peat, two different manufacturers. BMW is looking serious. Now, before you start, TJ, I want to say this because, I'm sitting here like Rossi's over here winning on a BMW in Indianapolis, right? And I'm sitting here, BMW wants to come to MotoGP. Can we see VR46 on a BMW MotoGP bike in 2027, or you think they're gonna stay with Ducati? Food for thought. What are your thoughts on what Top Rock did?
I mean, before I jump to Top Rock, I've been saying we need another manufacturer in MotoGP. I mean, I know some have disappeared for their odd reasons, but we need another manufacturer in MotoGP. So that would be pretty cool to have BMW in there. But Top Rock's amazing, man. To have a Turkish rider just pretty much dominate, we don't really see these type of riders often. And to have a third championship too with BMW with is pretty impressive. Not seeing often. But just a class act, and it's just his effort, and he still was braking with the wheel up in the rear, and I can just imagine just being passed by a rider and then their wheels in the air. I think I have target fixation, and that'll just disrupt me a little bit. So, Top Rock has a game plan, and it worked to perfection. And I think he probably wanted to put the clean sweep in for this weekend, but Bulega gave him a little check, just to say, hey, I don't give a F, I'm trying to win this too. So he kind of backed off a little bit. And still make sure he can bring it home, because if he let it slip, he probably would let the championship slip too.
Right. Go ahead.
But it was great to see. It was an overall good weekend and performance from Top Rock and Bulega.
No doubt. Lewis, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, pretty impressive. Top Rock just had to keep it upright. It was a little controversial, that little love tap that Bulega gave Top Rock, and the BMW went down and he went down. We saw Bulega say that's not how, it's not one of his best races. It's not the way he wants to win, which is the proper thing to say. But watching him all season, he's a stand-up dude from what I can tell. I don't know him personally, but from what I can tell. What are your thoughts on what Top Rock did? 2 championships for BMW. Is this enough for BMW to, start to thump their chest a little bit, or should they be grateful because, it may be tough in the future?
I mean, on the BMW front, I think they should be very grateful that they had the opportunity to work with somebody with the talent like Top Rock for the 2 years he was there, because there's been a lot of other asses in that BMW, and nobody's been able to win a championship. So to win 2 back-to-back on a bike that's never won before, that in itself tells you 2 things: that BMW has come a long way, but that they got the right rider on the bike. Because there's been a lot of riders on the BMWs. If you go back through all the years that they've been in World Superbike, you're talking ex-MotoGP riders, ex-MotoGP, ex-Moto2 champions, ex-125cc champions, 250cc champions. There's been a lot of riders that have been through the BMW wood chipper, and they came out on the other side, beat the fuck up. They didn't come out champions, Marco Melandri, the guy's super talented MotoGP rider, champion in multiple different classes, everything else. He couldn't get the bike to win on a regular basis. He couldn't bring a championship. Scott Redding, he couldn't bring a championship. I mean, again, it's a long list. BMW's been doing this for more than a few years now. I mean, when they first came out, we kind of made fun of them as like the new generation GSXR, because They were cheap. You can get a lot of horsepower, and everybody was buying them because you can get insurance really cheap because insurance companies didn't realize that BMW S1000 was actually a sport bike. So they were still insuring it as a sport touring bike. Right. So everybody was getting 1000s because you can get full coverage for a year for like $600. And then as soon as about 50,000 of those things got totaled, insurance companies were like, wait a second, this shit ain't no touring bike. And that, the prices went up on insurance. But I digress. This is a little side rant from BMW when they first launched to where they're at now. Mm-hmm. And they are a powerhouse. You know, in the leader bike market, they are a powerhouse. And I'm glad that they finally got this monkey off their back. But again, man, it was with Toprak, and he's not your normal rider. And I don't see anybody else in the paddock that's going to be able to slip into his shoes on a BMW, less any other bike, and compete with Bulaga. Because look what Bulaga did this weekend, man. He knew he had to show up, and he had to win 3 races in a row. And he put in the work. I mean, that Super Pole race, controversy aside, I mean, he put in the work, man. He won the races he needed to win. He had the Super Pole issue. Again, man, the way you look at things sometimes, you might say it's dirty, you might say it's this, you might say it's that. I mean, I love to bust on Ducati guys. It's in the owner's manual. If you're losing, fuck everybody else's race up because you're on a Ducati and you can't win.
That's a long time ago kind of talk right there, Louis.
I don't know, man. It seems this year a lot of people riding Ducatis were like, oh, wait, where's that old manual where since I can't win, let me fuck it up for everybody else?
We can't speak for what people do on Ducatis. That's all I'm just saying. For Bulaga, go ahead.
Bulaga did his part. Even if they didn't have that incident, like Bulaga, technically, I think would have won all 3 races, man. Even without the incident, like I think he would have won all 3 races, and he would have walked away. And now he's probably kicking himself in the ass because he was like, man, that one incident cost me the championship. I mean, there's a lot of things we were talking about before. He lost by 13 points, man. Yeah. At the end of the day, you know how many DNFs he had because his bike blew up or a chain broke or this happened or blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not like he was in the kitty litter all the time. Like, most of the times when he didn't finish on the podium or in the top step, it was a mechanical issue or just Toprak was on that next level.
Right, exactly. I was going to bring that up. Does Ducati, kind of owe Bulaga a little bit of apology because if those things didn't happen, it could have been different. And so it's going to be very difficult next year for riders, I believe. But we don't know what that V4R double-sided swing arm is going to do yet. So, I think they like it. But TJ, what are your thoughts on, Bulaga's misfortune as far as the bike issues, as we were talking about off here and stuff like that? You got to tell it to the masses now.
Yeah, I mean, like, every rider, I feel like, mechanical, you have your mistakes, both sides, rider and your mechanics. Mm. So, I don't know, going into everybody wants to be perfect, but I feel like Bulaga was pretty much perfect all season. Like, he did what he had to do. So, mechanics, I feel like, had a few slip-ups here and there. So I do think as a team, they all owe each other an apology. Like, at the same time, they all do it together. So you can't really put full blame on the mechanics for just slipping up here and there, for him just losing by 13 points, But at the end of the day, like, it just goes to show, like, how much, you have to be on point with everything going into every race weekend, both sides,
Right. So. Now, I'll bring Lewis in. Where you at? There you go. What BMW has done, because Toprak had issues in the beginning too. He was coming in there flipping over tables in the beginning of the season as well on the 25 bike and stuff like that. From a team perspective, BMW got 2. Ducati has what they have. They got a gang as far as World Superbike. Was the team of BMW better or just Top Rock was just able to ride around the problems of the BMW because, Ducati, they struggled, the team struggled, and so did BMW, but obviously Top Rock came out with the championship. So what are your thoughts on, the team as far as BMW versus Ducati and who was able to recover better? Or is it just, again, like I said, Top Rock just has the better feel on the bike, regardless of how that bike ride?
I think it's definitely Ducati, because if you look at what the standings are, who's number one, BMW, who's number two, Ducati, who's number three, Ducati. Mm-hmm. Where's Top Rack's teammate? Like number 8?
Yeah, something like that. He's down there.
Yeah. There's a lot of Ducatis between Top Rack and the next BMW. And not because there's not a lot of BMWs on the grid. It's just Top Rack's able to do something with that bike that other guys haven't been able to do. And it's going to be interesting to see, when these new guys come in to take Top Rack's place and change the team up and this new face that the team's going to have. Let's see where BMW's at next year. Maybe they can get something together and still be good, but Ducati overall has the better team, and Ducati has overall the better package. And anybody who thinks otherwise is out of their mind. And as far as having a conventional swing arm, that makes Ducati more dangerous, not less dangerous. Because guess what? You know who won like 5 or 6 Superbike championships between 2000 and 2008 when they had a conventional swing arm?
Yeah.
It's an Italian bike.
Oh, yeah. 999.
And 999 cleaned up a lot of people's clock when everybody was like kind of writing off Ducati because they went to this weird looking bike with a conventional swing arm. And what happened, man? They started winning championship after championship after championship after championship. Neil Hodgson, Troy Bayliss, these guys cleaned up between 2001 and 2008. So now you're going to put a stronger motor with a better swing arm. It's not a sexier swing arm. Like, that's the one thing that pure Ducati guys, you're losing the single-sided swing arm. You're getting the performance. You're getting incredible performance. A conventional swing arm makes the bike so much more stable.
Yeah,
gives you so much more power.
I don't know if I'm a full Ducatiist or whatever, but I do like the double-sided swing arm.
It's sexy. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's sexy.
It sure is.
It's real sexy. But for performance, conventional swing arm is gonna help you put that power down a lot better than a single-sided swing arm.
Right. So, do you think that, and we'll move on a little bit with World Superbike and get into MotoGP. What are your thoughts on the celebration? It's tricky when, Bulega won the last 3 races and you did your best, but you didn't win the last 3 races. What are your thoughts on Top Rock celebration? Is it the same when you don't win, but you win the championship? And again, you kind of also got to know, like, look, if these things didn't happen for Bulega, it would have been different too.
Yeah, I mean, like Bulega, you could just see it in his face. Like, he wasn't satisfied. I mean, he obviously did the best he can. But Top Rock had to celebrate his championship. So, I mean, he put on a little show, which is pretty cool. I mean, at the end of the day, it's for the fans at this point. So it was good for him to put on a nice little rolling burnout and then, a little circle burnout and all that good stuff. I don't know if he had to pay fines for that, but I don't know if it like hurt Bulega's feelings or anything, but at the same time, he was just celebrating and that had to be done. But you can see it in Bulega's face. Like, he really had no way to celebrate because at this point, it was for the championship. So,
right. I mean, how you gonna top that burnout that Top Rock did?
Right. You can't top that.
You can't top that. What are your thoughts, Louis, on the celebration? And I appreciate the theatrics that these riders put into their celebration and stuff like that, but I think they need the event planner.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly where he came up with this celebration. I'm sure somebody likes Marvel movies or something like that, but it was fun. It was funny to watch it and stuff like that. It just shows a little bit of levity. I mean, the motorcycle season is a long time with a lot of stress. So if you get a moment to do something fun or something funny, I mean, take the opportunity because there's not too many that come around when you can kind of let off that steam. As far as him celebrating, I mean, if you finish 10th place and you still win a championship, you still win a championship. You get to celebrate because you still put in the work for the entire year. And all right, let's say he tried to win the race and then he crashed. We'd be here talking shit about, is it dumbass? Should have just settled for 10th place. Settle for 10th place. Do what you got to do to win the big picture. Don't worry about the little picture because you're in the last race of the year. You don't need to win it. If they tell you, look, all you need to do is come in 10th or better, I'll go for 3rd, 4th, 5th. I'll even drop all the way back to 8th if I had to. I don't know if I drop to 10th because now it's getting sketchy. But you know, I wouldn't do anything risky. And then after what happened in the Super Bowl race, even that I'm probably was weighing on his mind a little bit. He was like, you know what? Let me stay away from this guy because he's riding at a different level. Not that he's doing it intentionally, but it already happened once. If I put myself in that position again, it might happen again. So let me stay away from him. Let me stay away from this other guy that I already know is kind of an idiot. You know, like that last race when you're in that position, you're thinking about a lot more than just corner to corner. Like you got to be very strategic and stay away from the people that you know aren't there to help you and might be there to harm you.
Right. And, you know, he's not going to be there next year. So it is a fitting way. And I take it back. He doesn't need an event planner. I realized, like, at the racetrack, this kind of thing happen all the time. There's just not on national TV.
Yeah. But no, it's a good way for him. Like I'd said last week, whether Bulaga wins or Top Rack wins, I'm happy for both of them. But Bulaga now coming to MotoGP as the reigning World Superbike champion, at least that puts him kind of up there with like that Ben Spies. Because I think the last guy who actually did this was Ben Spies.
Top Rack, you mean?
Well, Top Rack going to MotoGP, yeah. It puts him in that rare air with Ben Spies, the last World Superbike champion that went to MotoGP.
Right.
And Ben Spies was able to get a couple of W's.
He was. I mean, for him, I mean, it was staying healthy, right? I mean, that's the issue. You know, I think if he was healthier, was able to stay healthy or recover, I should say, better, it would have been different. He would have had definitely more wins. What are your thoughts, guys, as far as next season? I think Honda, you know, Honda should have kept Ika Lukuono and Xavi because those guys were making progress. They could get in the top 5. And I think, you know, starting with 2 new riders, not to say that, you know, these guys can't come up to speed very quickly. I don't understand the thinking in what Honda has done. It's great for Ducati. It's great for Yamaha because they got 2 experienced guys as far as in Moto2, MotoGP, and on different manufacturers coming over to their team. So, you know, I think it's a win-win for those manufacturers. But what are your thoughts on what Honda is doing by getting these 2 new young guys from Moto2? In MotoGP, because Samcat was a MotoGP rider.
I mean, the expectations must be really high. I mean, hopefully it's about the interior, like inside the paddock, opposed to, you know, putting out on the track. Because I mean, I think you always want to keep someone with experience around, you know. So to get rid of two riders that are top 10, definitely. It's hard to just guarantee that you're going to get 2 new riders just because of their experience. That's just going to get you back on the same point. So I don't know if it was just the camaraderie and interior with like the team where they think these 2 new riders would be better off as coaching and getting things done. But I don't know. Honda always has something up their sleeve. I'm sure they always can work something out. And I think for Chantra, that it would be much better suit for him going into the situation too. So I'm excited to see what he can pull out. I mean, I felt like he was just thrown into the fire going into the GP when he was having such a good year in Moto2. So
If I'm Sam Cat, I want to stay in MotoGP. Come on, I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, him finishing last place is MotoGP. No disrespect to World Superbike, but it's still a much better life if you're a MotoGP rider than a World Superbike rider. No disrespect to these World Superbike riders. Lewis, what are your thoughts? Honda need to save some money. I mean, what are we talking here?
No, if they wanted to save some money, like this isn't the way to save money. I mean, they should have kept at least one of the two guys. Either, if you look at the progression over the last couple of years with the riders that they have now, they've shown incremental increases in their performance.
Right.
Incremental. And now this year, they've actually been competitive on more than a few occasions where they've been in the top 6, top 5. I mean, they're really getting to the front of the pack here. And it's like, just as you're getting to the front of the pack, you're going to get rid of your riders.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, the package might be there, the bike might be there, but it's one of two things. Are they tired of these small incremental gains and they want to find somebody that can do those big leaps that these two other riders couldn't do? Or, you know, is there something with these two riders that didn't gel with the team where they just want to kind of like clean house and start over with some fresh riders and some new ideas? Because again, they're tired of this slow incremental. They believe they have a package that can do a bigger leap, and maybe they've kind of maxed out the potential with the riders that they have.
No, man, that doesn't sound right.
That doesn't sound right when you look on paper of who the riders they're at and where they're going. Like, they're not going to Moto 3. You know, they're moving on to other bigger factory bikes.
Yeah, they didn't go to, no disrespect to BSB, but they didn't go Scott Redding way.
Yeah, they didn't get Scott Redding. So again, you know, you never know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know if it's a money thing. You don't know if it's a management issue. You don't know if it's a personality clash where maybe the riders aren't getting along with the team manager or the director or this or that. Right. Whatever the case is, Honda decided this direction we want to go. We want to go with these two guys from this other class. We want to bring them here. We want to give them an opportunity to try to get the Honda street bike back up to the front of the grid. And I hope it works out for Honda. You know, I truly do, because I do want to see them. I want to see them on the podium on a regular basis again, man. You know, I'm an old school Honda guy. One of my first bikes ever was like a brand new Honda. Like my first brand new bike that I actually went to a dealership and bought was a Honda. Everything before that was used, second hand, third hand, fifth hand, eighth hand. Sometimes came without keys. I don't know where those came from, but
hey, got me on the track.
But it got me on the track.